Hi guys, welcome to Mondays with the Millennial Chef, except today's Wednesday, but this is our week's episode of Mondays with the Millennial Chef. Sorry about my voice. I explained that New Orleans did me pretty good, so my voice is still a little bit hoarse. But on the menu tonight, we are making stuffed peppers with couscous, zucchini, feta, and some dill. And I'm doing an alternative here because I had some ground turkey in the fridge. So I'm also adding ground turkey and garlic and onion, but you do not have to do that. I just had it in the fridge, so that's what I was doing. So to start, let me show you guys what I have going on over here. So in this cast iron skillet, I have 1 pound of ground turkey, half an onion, some garlic, cumin, and dill. And like I said, this part is totally optional. If you're vegetarian, if you're vegan, just totally nix this part. It'll be just as good. But like I said, I had it in the fridge, so I wanted to use it. So this is extra. So this is actually completely done cooking. I also have over here our instant couscous. And this I highly recommend buying for this recipe because this took me 5 minutes to make. Legitimately 5 minutes, that's it. And it's a Parmesan flavor, but you can use any packet you like. So, one other thing to note, I also have our peppers in the oven because we're doing this live. I didn't want you guys to have to wait an hour to have them bake. So I'm gonna bake them first, take them out, fill them, show you guys how I do it. Instead of doing the whole thing with the peppers being raw and then baking them, I wanted to make this a little easier for you guys to make it more interactive. So, we're gonna make the filling for our stuffed peppers. So first things first, I'm going to fluff the couscous. And you want to make sure to do this. Come close, cameraman, let me show you. You want to fluff your couscous like this before you put it into the bowl so it gets nice and fluffy and airy. Instead of just wiping it out like this and putting it in the bowl, it'll be a little more dense. So you want to fluff it up. So we're doing this. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Okay, so we're fluffing up the couscous. And I don't think we're actually gonna need all of this, so maybe about 3/4 of this go into the bowl first. This is our one aspect of our stuffed peppers. For anyone who's joining, I am making stuffed peppers with couscous, zucchini, lemon, feta, and some ground turkey. Oh, also chickpeas. So one thing to note, if you are eating pretty healthy and you don't want to use couscous or you don't want to use one of these things, you could always use quinoa. You could absolutely mix this all together and just do a really healthy stuffed pepper and just do no carb. But I think you could do lentils. That's a really healthy alternative to couscous also. But you don't need the couscous if you don't want it. So that's about a little over a cup that's going in there. And I'm gonna eyeball it and see if we need more. All right.
What's the protein?
Oh, okay, so the protein I have over here, sorry guys, the protein that's going in here is ground turkey. And I have it mixed with onion, garlic, cumin, and dill. But again, you could use any protein you like. You could do pork, you could do beef, or you could completely mix this part together and do none. You could do tofu, you could do whatever you want. All right, so.
How about for the vegetarians out there?
So for the vegetarians out there, completely nix the protein. Don't use any protein and just do couscous, zucchini, feta, some dill, and lemon, and just get rid of the protein altogether. That's what I was originally gonna do, but I had some extra ground turkey in the fridge, so I figured I'd just use it for this. So next in the bowl. And by the way, if you're using a cast iron skillet, always make sure to hold the handle because this stuff gets boiling hot. I burnt my hands so many times, so make sure to hold this with the towel, just a little safety hazard here. All right, so next, and it's also really heavy, so do some lifting before you do this as well. So remember, I am doing the filling right now that we're gonna fill our stuffed peppers in. So I'm gonna get a spoon here and spoon in, because it's actually really heavy and I legitimately can't lift it for that long. So we're gonna spoon in right now our ground turkey with onion, garlic, cumin, and dill. That's going into this right now. Again, I'm gonna start with not all this, just to see how much filling we need and kind of go from there. We're probably gonna need all this meat. So, this is going in next for our delicious stuffed peppers. Okay, we're gonna start with that here.
How do you tell when the stuffed peppers are done?
Okay, so it's a good question, whoever asked that. Normally, if you are baking the pepper just raw like that, you're gonna have them bake for about an hour, 55 minutes on 350. But you can just tell by touching it. If it's a little bit tender, you know that it's done. If it has that nice char on the outside too, that's a nice little flavor you can have, but it really can depend on your taste. If you like it a little bit crunchier, only do it for half an hour. If you like them softer, do it for an hour. It's kind of up to you and the person cooking it. So, okay, next we have my favorite bean of all time, chickpeas. This is about a cup, maybe a little more. I'm gonna go for it here. And with a stuffed pepper, you can use any bean you like. You can use pinto beans, you can use white beans, black beans, lentils. Honestly, it's any bean you want. This dish, it's one of my favorite dishes because of its versatility. You can absolutely substitute any vegetable you like, any grain, any bean, any protein. It's totally up to you and your palate. So, next I'm gonna add just a little bit of feta to this as well. And I'm also gonna top these with feta. A great alternative to feta is goat cheese. And goat cheese is my favorite cheese of all time. But feta is a little bit healthier, a little bit less fat, so I'm gonna go with this little bit healthier vibe here and use feta cheese. This is a sheep's milk cheese, by the way, fun fact. And then I'm gonna season this up with some dill. Now, fresh dill obviously is better, but not everybody has time to go to the grocery store and the produce store and blah, blah, blah. So if you have dried thyme, it's just as good, and it's actually more powerful. The flavor is much more pungent than fresh, so you can go a little bit less on this dried dill. You could do parsley, you could do thyme. Again, any kind of herb and flavor you like, you can use for this. So, we're gonna mix, oh, I almost forgot my two things. What am I doing? Okay, so we're also gonna add, like I always have, I like zucchini. I love a zucchini. It's actually, I mentioned this last week, it's filled with water, so it's really healthy. It's a really, really great healthy vegetable to use when you're cooking to cut some major calories. But again, if you wanna use spinach, if you wanna use asparagus, anything you want, you can use for this. It's really versatile. So I'm cutting them in quarters like this. And since I am gonna bake these really quick, like broil them at the end, I'm not gonna cook these at all. I'm gonna put these into the mixture straight up raw because I do not like a mushy zucchini. I think it's one of the most unpleasant textures for me personally. So I'm gonna put this right in here, raw like this. And it's gonna cook when I bake it for the last 5 minutes. So this is going in. Obviously, salt and pepper, duh. You must season every single thing that you're cooking always with salt and pepper. And then last, pepper. This is probably not a big enough bowl, but too bad. And last but not least, lemon. And I love adding lemon to probably all of my dishes. I like that citrus kind of taste. And lemon actually just, it brightens and freshens up a recipe and a dish. And I put it in everything. So if you're trying to cook, add a little lemon to things and see how that makes a difference in your tasting of your recipes. I put it in, oh Jesus. Wow. This is a really tough lemon to cut here. My God, that was really hard. Okay, so I'm gonna start with half. This is also a really juicy lemon. Half of a lemon, and you go like this and you catch the seeds when you're putting lemon into a dish. Sorry guys, that just squirted me straight in the face. So that's how you know this is live, because this is exactly what's happening right now. So you might have a really juicy lemon that's gonna squirt you in the face, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. You get lemon in the face. Okay, so now I'm serious, I'm done. So to recap, we have couscous, we have ground turkey, onion and garlic, we have zucchini, we have feta, and we have chickpeas. And I just topped it off with some lemon juice. And that's it, salt and pepper too. So I actually am going to combine this all together, and look how ridiculously beautiful this is right now. By the way, this you could just eat alone. You could put this in a saute pan and make those zucchini a little bit softer and put a little olive oil over this, and that could be your dinner. Talk about a healthy dinner right now. Okay, so we're gonna turn this. All right, so our filling is practically combined here. If anything I'm saying you don't like or you disagree with or you do like, let me know. Let me know if you're gonna make this one night. Okay, so, oh, these have such a beautiful char on them. Hold on, guys. I actually have an oven mitt. We're gonna use the oven mitt instead, because leave it to me to drop this huge thing all over. Okay. You guys, look at these peppers. They're so colorful. Let's like, we eat with our eyes. So the more colorful a dish is, usually the more excited we are to eat it. That's just the way it goes. Okay, so I also, actually, we're gonna move this down a little bit for camera purposes here. I decided to cut these bad boys lengthwise. Instead of that traditional, instead of doing it like this, where you just cut the top off and fill them in, I cut it lengthwise and open it up like so, and then sprinkled this with salt, pepper, and olive oil. And then I baked it for about 20 minutes. That's what this is right now. So, I'm going to use a smaller spoon actually, because this spoon is enormous and those are actually pretty tiny. So, hence our stuffed peppers here. I'm gonna stuff our individual peppers. So, that's what we're gonna do. And remember, you don't have to do the ground turkey. You don't have to do the onion and garlic. I just figured, had them in the fridge, why not utilize them?
What other veggies can we use in this mixture?
You could use spinach. I think spinach would be a really, really nice alternative to this. You could do some broccoli florets. You could do cauliflower. You could do asparagus. You could honestly do whatever you want, truthfully. Any kind of combo you like, anything that's your favorite. And really, like, I'm gonna start with a small stuffing and then I'm gonna really fill these out right now. And I'm for sure gonna have leftovers and have this for lunch, by the way. Okay, so we're gonna fill this up. Each one individually, we're gonna fill up here. And then I'm gonna top with more feta and bake them just for another like 5 minutes, kind of melt that cheese and cook those zucchini just a little bit. And that's essentially the whole thing. You could, okay, so usually a stuffed pepper, you have tomatoes and you have rice and you have cheese and it kind of has like a Mexican flair, which is great, which is actually delicious and fantastic. And I made it, that's on my site actually, another stuffed pepper recipe, but I thought this was a little bit more of a healthy take on it. You know, it doesn't have as much cheese as feta cheese, which is much more less calorie. And it just seems like a little bit different of a flavor profile than your traditional stuffed peppers. So really go to town here, you guys, on stuffing your peppers. Really. And if you have a little that overflows, no big deal, because it's just gonna bake anyway, you can just eat it. So it's no biggie. Okay, almost done here, guys. Last two are really gonna fill. And I have so much leftover, shocker. I always make too much, story of my life. Okay, so tons of leftovers here, and now, it's a little hot. We are going to top each one with a little bit of feta, and I'm gonna top with a little bit of dill as well. Because I love the flavor of dill. It's one of my favorite herbs of all time. I love it so much. It's a really, really cool, kind of distinct flavor that if you like it, you're really gonna love this recipe. All right, this is a dirty job you have to do, you guys. You gotta get down and dirty with this recipe. So, just got a manicure. It's gonna get a little screwed up here. All right, so, rinse my hands off, they're a little cheesy. So rinse this. And then we're gonna put them back in the oven for about 5 minutes just to melt that feta cheese, cook the zucchini a little bit. And then, so like I said, it's on 400 right now, so we're gonna put that in the oven, get the feta really melty on top, cook the zucchini, top with a little more dill, and we're gonna call it a day. So that is my stuffed peppers recipe. It'll be on the website tomorrow. Make sure to tune in on Monday for Mondays with the Millennial Chef. Thanks, you guys.